Yes, people, welcome to Man Knows Football. You're here with myself, Guni, and I have got a very special guest. First time on the show. I would like to welcome Darko. How are you doing, my guy?
Yes, my broski. I'm all good, my bro. How you doing, my bro?
I'm all good, man. I'm all good. I've just been sitting back during the transfer windows watching you just creating waves over there, man. Listen, people, I know you don't really see me retweeting other people's transfer news on that unless it's your Fabrizio Romanos and these man here. So for me to be retweeting Darko's news, it means that you better be listening to what he's saying. Because that's not the only transfer I've seen him get right and certain news I've got right, even outside of Chelsea. So this is why I had to bring Darko on the show. He's obviously going to bless us with some of his knowledge that he's allowed to spread with us. I know you guys can't always tell us everything that you've got going on. You've got to hold that some of that down. You get me? But we're here to have a good Chelsea discussion today. Let's go, man. So first of all, I thought it's just a good thing to just chat about, what's really going on the football side of things and what's going on the pitch. Obviously, Graham Potter is not having the greatest time. There's reasons for that. There's several reasons for that, but a lot of fans are losing patience. Some are saying Graham Potter needs to be sacked. Others are saying Graham Potter needs to be given more time. So first, let the people know where you stand with it before we get into it a little bit deeper, my bro.
Oh, first of all, bro, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure. I really appreciate it. I love the channel, love the content. I see the content with Mike and Hassan as well. I love that one.
Yeah, come
It
on.
was a good head to head. So, bro, I'll be honest with you. I always believe, I'm a firm believer. Everyone deserves an opportunity, regardless of where they're coming from. Do you know what I mean? With Graham Potter, listen, the thing is, bro, I'll be real with you. Listen, no offense to anyone, but I've never been a believer when it comes to English coaches, innit? You know what I mean? Like, I've never been a believer of English coaches. I don't rate them, bro. If you're telling me English coaches that I rate and I go back, it's what Sir Bobby Robson, um, Harry Redknapp to an extent. But these guys, no, they're all shit, bro. I don't rate them. You know what I mean? With Potter, I'll be honest with you. With Potter, he did do some good things at Brighton. I'll be lying to say that he didn't. Do you know what I mean? But there's a big difference when you're at Brighton than when you're in West London and you're managing Chelsea. It's a complete different pressure. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah,
When you
fully.
look at, yeah, you look at Cucurella, for example, yeah, and you see the big jump from Brighton to Chelsea, and it's not really gone that well. He's struggling a lot. Do you know what I mean? And we all know he's not that bad of a player. He can't be that bad, but we're seeing. And he
But
struggled a lot. So, me personally, I've not been impressed with his tenure so far. Do you know what I mean? There is context to it. There's been injuries. There's been a lot of change, a lot of new bodies in, new blood. So there is context in regards to the issues going on right now at Chelsea Football Club. However, bro, I do believe that he simply has to be doing better. And personally, before the season started, Gooney, I don't know if you remember, I was saying that I don't believe Chelsea will get into the top four. And
yeah, yeah,
everyone was abusing me. Do you remember?
yeah,
Everyone was like,
yeah.
Darko, you're crazy. Darko, you talking about? Darko, you're just too negative. You're too toxic. You're the reason why this fan base is toxic. This is what these people were saying, bro. And as you can see, what's happening this season has not been a shock to me. We didn't address the main position, the engine of the football pitch, which is the midfield. I've always said it.
Facts.
The midfield is probably the most important position on the football pitch. It's where the control is. Do you know what I mean? It's literally where the control. Like you have to control both sides. It's the midfield. Do you know what I mean? Without the midfield, you're in big trouble, and you can see that the two teams who didn't go into the season addressing the midfield, Liverpool and Chelsea, look what it's caused. Do you know what I'm saying, bro? So me personally, I've always said it's good. You see, I'm gonna wait to the end of the season. I'm not happy with the way things are going. I know we can do better. We're gonna have new bodies back in. We got Chris Benoit now. We got Wesley Fofana. Um, we got Modric, Felix. There's gonna be no excuses. Kante will be back at the end of the month. He has to start getting results in. And me personally, I know we're 10 points behind the top four, but he has to get Champions League football. Clearly, if he doesn't get Champions League football, we're gonna have some serious conversations. And I'll be honest with you, it might seem a bit unfair to some people listening, thinking, you know what, he's new, he needs time, the players need to gel. I hear all of that, but this is a 600 mil investment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Newcastle are 10 ahead right now. And if Chelsea go on a run, and even though it's going to be very difficult, they are able to claim them points back and really, push to get in there last minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the weekend's a perfect example. Drop points to Fulham, Newcastle drew again, didn't take advantage. Do you know what I mean? That could have been 8 points. Now, you know what I mean? The week before at Anfield, should have got 3 points. We didn't get 3 points. We dropped points again. And Newcastle are looking very shaky recently. So I believe it is opportunity to take. And listen, with Chelsea, Chelsea will always be Chelsea. We can't just write off the season and think that because it's not gone the way we expected it to go, that if we should just give up. That's not the way Roman raised us up. We have to fight to the end and always believe something is possible. You know what I mean?
I
Just
hear
like I
you.
told them to believe in Enzo, they didn't want to believe. You need to believe in the top four. It's serious.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. But you know what, Darko? I was in the same boat. I was saying, beginning of the season, I wouldn't hold my breath for top four, but I still want to fight for top four. Now,
Mm,
there's several things that I've got to consider with this manager. Now, obviously, to me, he's not absolved of everything. He has to hold accountability for some of the decisions that he's made and some of the results that we've had.
mm,
But I just feel like I would be a bit of a hypocrite myself personally because of my stance at the beginning of the season, which was for me, yes, the midfield needed addressing 1000%. And to me, I
mm-hmm.
still feel that we haven't addressed the key issue in that midfield, which a lot of people have heard me say.
100%.
It's that number six, it's that or destroyer or DM, whatever you want to call it. So many names for it now.
Yeah.
But just somebody who has that more disciplined role, who's going to be playing next to Enzo to give us that balance that we need. Because how many times do we keep getting opened up and opened up and opened up by any one of the 19 teams in the league in that midfield? So for me, it's a case of Graham Potter's been unlucky with the personnel that he's had to come in and deal with at the club. Some perhaps should still be at the club right now. And then on top of that, he's also had injuries. So in terms of, playing players in their preferred positions and their preferred roles, he's not always had the availability to do that. Now, I know Thomas Tuchel had the same problem. And I don't want people to think, well, it's one thing for Graham Potter and it's another for Thomas Tuchel. No, absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. But what I've noticed, even outside of the non-injury prone players, a lot of them, their form has gone to shit. It's gone completely
Mm.
to shit. And anybody will tell you that's been watching this team that this has been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming. And
They've been coming. Yeah.
respectfully to the previous regime, I'm really careful how I say this because I'm very grateful to what Roman's done for the club. He won everything for us. But
Yeah.
towards the end of that tenureship, we have to be honest with ourselves and say we let ourselves down massively in the recruitment side of things. When we won our
Yeah.
Champions Leagues, we never strengthened to the degree that we needed strengthening. We've kept injury-prone players and overplayed them. When they come back from injury, we're not even giving them no kind of rest. So they're just continually getting injured. So a lot of it for me is a recruitment issue. Now, in terms of where I hold Graham Potter responsible for certain things, is now personnel selection. Because there's individuals in our team that I wouldn't say are crap players like we're seeing on the social medias, but they are suffering right now. Obviously, a lot of people know I'm talking about Mason Mount as one of them. There's also several others. Mount is not the only player playing badly in this team, but he gets a brunt of the blame because he's in the middle of that park where that's been
Yeah.
magnified. You get me? Because of how poor the quality has been, yeah, that's
Yeah.
the position everyone's staring and focusing on. And with how
Mm-hmm.
Mason Mount has come into this team and the way he, the first two seasons, he looked great. the expectations for him are high. But then it's a thing where the manager has to recognize these players still need an element of protection. You can't just keep throwing Mason Mount out there week in, week out, week in, week out. Even Conor Gallagher, to an extent, I can see it happening to him, because the abuse is just going to get worse and worse. When these players, they're low on confidence, they're not playing how they'd usually play, and then also on top of that, the team's not fully ready yet. There's no balance in the team. You need to pull these guys and protect some of them, because they're not going to be performing until certain things are put in place. So it's definitely, so for me, what I'm trying to say is it's a huge mixture of both. Now, obviously, we've got West Ham this weekend, West Ham away, who are not doing so great themselves. And that, to me, worries me even more, because on top of it being a derby, these guys are trying to stay out of the relegation zone. We need to definitely get points. And West Ham are not really... We don't really have the best record against them. They do like to turn up against us. Are you worried about that?
Oh, I'll be honest with you. The way this Chelsea team is right now, you're always worried. You know what I mean? You don't know what Chelsea you're gonna get. For me, I don't even remember the last time I felt confident going into a game. If I'm honest with you, Guni, the last time I was maybe excited to watch a match was the Fulham game, because of the buzz and excitement of the new signings, and I just thought it would give everyone that lift, because leading up to the week of that game, we got Enzo the same week. The whole fan base, everyone was united. Everyone, for once, I saw, when you have better quality of players, everyone is together, everyone's excited. Like, if you ask someone who's your favorite player at Chelsea or who's the best player at Chelsea, they'll struggle. You're gonna get different answers. Some that say Reece James, some might say Mason Mount, some might say Felix, some might say Modric. You have a bunch of quality players, and watching how that game went, it just made me think to myself, 2 weeks. What did you guys do in the 2 weeks? The two
Yeah, I
weeks split.
know.
It was a disgraceful performance, bro. And knowing how Declan Rice is gonna be really looking to put up a show and show us what we're missing. I think he's gonna kill us in midfield in the weekend. Honestly, I think he's gonna kill us, and I'll be very surprised if we pick anything up from that game. To be honest, we need the 3 points, but I'm very concerned. I'm not confident at all.
Well, I don't blame you. I don't blame any Chelsea fans not being confident in any game that they're going into right now, quite rightly, like you said. But there are some positives going into this game. Obviously, we saw Reece James get a run out, albeit it weren't for 90 minutes. And I'm quite happy that he didn't run out for 90 minutes, because whenever he's on the pitch just fresh after injury, I get very worried. Like, I get a bit of anxiety when he's on. So,
Yeah.
he went through that game unscathed. Hopefully he's able to start this game, because no doubt he's going to be a key addition. Now, in terms of his performance in the last game, I'm not watching that too tough, because it's a case of the man just come back from injury. He needs some match fitness, some
I'll
minutes.
let him off because I wasn't impressed, but
Yeah,
I'll let him
it's
off.
one of those ones. Yeah, he's just coming
Yeah,
back, but he definitely has to step up. He's got to step up for West Ham. That's for sure. He's definitely got to step up for West Ham.
definitely.
Um, Also, as well, we've got João Felix coming back from the red card suspension. That's going to be a
Yeah,
massive plus.
yeah,
Hopefully, we can see how he's going to operate with the other new attacking signings, and even with Enzo in behind him, man. A good link up, little 1-2 link up between them. Yeah, see if they're on the same wavelength. Perhaps create more forward creating opportunities and these things here, instead of side back to front, wherever. Do you know what I mean? I just want to see some
yeah.
progressive football where we're not consistently passing from side to side to side. So look, we've got some additions coming in, but going into this game, are there any particular faces in the last squad, in the last 11 that you saw that you don't want to see playing this week?
Um, Looking at the team, who started last game? You know
Last
what?
last game was Mendy, Cucurella. This is going by memory, by the way. Thiago Silva,
Actually,
Badia,
no.
Chile, Reece
Yeah,
James started. Enzo, Connor, Mace,
yeah.
Havertz, Mudryk, and
Yeah.
Ziyech.
Oh goodness me. Okay. Ziyech, Cucurella, And you know what? I would say Ziyech, Cucurella, and Connor. Ziyech, Cucurella, and Connor. I know that a lot of the fans are saying, take Mason Mount out. He needs to be out the firing line. He needs a rest. He's not performing. He's not on form. But I think that the issue that I have is that if we're to do that, who comes in? Because we're so limited in the midfield.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's sad because it's like we have to let him play out of form to get back into form. Do you know what I mean? With Connor, I'll be honest with you, apart from running like a greyhound, the guy loves to run, run, run. What I don't see what he brings us. Do you know what I mean?
I hear you.
Um, so yeah, apart from running, I'm not too sure what he's gonna bring to us. Ziyech, I'll be honest with you, Guni. Ziyech, for me, I'm not a big fan of him. I felt like his attitude prior to Tuchel getting sacked was a disgrace. Um, I feel like as well his performance on Friday night was an absolute disgrace. I felt like the fact that he basically signed a contract with PSG and
Yeah.
Potter still allowed him to start the game was very bizarre to me. I didn't understand it at all, and it made no sense. And the fact that Modric was ill and he also started him made no sense to me either. I think a lot of weird decisions from Potter going on that I don't know why he did it. It makes no sense at all. I saw a president that was ill Sunday against Tottenham, and Pep sent him home. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we're making a lot of bizarre decisions. But for me, Cucurella, I think that let's give Ben a start now. Ben's been out for a while. He's been training for a bit now. I think he's ready to start. Um, Ziyech, just you might as well just put Sterling there or Madueke. But I would personally, put Sterling. Yeah, get Ziyech into the team.
Hold on. Say that last bit again. Your volume just cut out. I don't know if there's something covering your mic. Yeah, there you go. That
Oh,
should be
sorry,
better.
bro. Yeah, I would put Sterling. I would put Sterling in ahead of Ziyech if I could, bro. Honestly, I would put Sterling ahead of Ziyech. I would have Mount, Enzo, and Dennis the Menace because I heard he's back in training now.
Okay.
I believe Cover's not fit still. So there's not much we can do. We're very limited in the field. But that's what I would do if I was Graham. I'll go for that. What about you, dude? What's your thoughts?
It makes sense what you're saying because in terms of because the first place I definitely would have addressed was that midfield. I would have been looking at Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount and thinking, well, if I had things my way, I
Yeah,
would drop the both of them, but we can't do that quite rightly, like you said, because we just don't quite have enough personnel on the bench to really make this happen. So it's got to be one or the other. And personally, out of the two, it's Mace that I trust more. So Mace is gonna have to start ahead of Gallagher. Now Gallagher, listen, fair play to him. The pressing, the energy is great, but you need more than that as a player. And the same applies to Mount. But I'd play Mount. Obviously Enzo has to play next to him. That's a no-brainer. And if Zakaria is actually fit, if he's definitely fit, then 100% he's got to play. And why I say that is because I don't want Graham Potter getting comfortable with the thought of Enzo being that deepest midfielder. I don't want him
a
to
hundred
think in
percent.
his mind that after several
Don't make that
games,
mistake.
actually this guy can do a job. We don't really need to sign a DM. We'll sign some more number eights. No, no, no. I don't want to hear that. Yeah, so he's got to play in his natural position. Behind him, obviously, Badia Shile, he's got to start for me. The guy has just been,
Cristiano,
yeah, he's
he's
been
good. He's
immense.
very fantastic.
Um,
Yeah.
Thiago Silva as well. He's Thiago Silva, and this is the thing: is the funny thing, Darko, is before I was on this thing of you can't play him every week. He's 38. He's a brother. The way he's moving is like he's keeping up with the 28-year-olds, 25-year-olds, playing just two
It's
games a week.
incredible.
Calm.
He's a superstar.
Yeah.
Even me myself, I didn't even want to give him a new deal because I said let the guy rest.
Yeah.
I don't want to be starting him week in, week out. But at the same time, can we really let him go? I don't think we can. And this experience is valuable for the young players that we have. Do you know what I mean?
Especially that type of experience because this is let's have it right. I think people are now widely acknowledging that this is one of the best centre backs that we've seen this generation, because at AC Milan he was generational, PSG
He was fantastic.
generational, still came back to Chelsea, generational. This is a player that has been elite for 90% of his career since we've known him. There's only been good
Yeah.
things said about him. So we have to keep somebody like that, whether it's a player, as a player, or as a coach, or someone around the club. Don't let him leave Chelsea. He has to be there. My front three now: Mudryk, João Felix as the false 9 or 9, whatever you want to call it. Now, Madueke, I like him, yeah. I do like Madueke, but I feel like he's still very raw, bro. But then it's between him and Ziyech.
He's still young. You know what I mean? He's still young, and um, I haven't seen. You know what? I saw a bit of him 18 months ago before he became a bit injury prone. So the hype died down a bit, but he looked very good when I did see him 18 months ago. As of now, I'm not too sure what to expect from him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when I saw us linked to him, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really too happy. I didn't believe it's someone we should be going for. I didn't think he's our level, or I hope I'm wrong
I
because
don't
I want him
disagree
to do
with
well
you.
now he's here. Yeah, you know what I mean. I just saw someone just doing skills and flicks and tricks, and I was just like, this FIFA Street stuff look cute, but you know,
Yeah, it's
I need to see
output.
some substance to it. You know what I mean? I need to see you do something else with it. You know what I mean? So he's here now. I'll get behind him. I hope he does the job. But yeah, I personally, I think, you know what? I think I'll give him the start. I'll give him the start on the weekend. I'll throw him in. I will throw him in. But at the same
Over
time,
Sterling.
I don't want to just. The thing is, it depends on Sterling's fitness.
Yeah.
If Sterling is fully fit, by all means, start Sterling. But if Sterling is not fully fit, let's not force it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, fully. I hear you. No, I hear you. But
Yeah.
for me, because for a second I forgot that Sterling does play on that right side, and I forgot his name. That definitely would have been my first choice. But I might do something a little different. I would like to invert both of those wingers, because as you've known, Mudryk is obviously left-footed, and I put him on that left wing. I would like to see at least Mudryk cutting in on that left foot. Raheem Sterling, he, we've seen him play on that side. I think dominantly he's been playing on that side for us outside of central since he's come to Chelsea. But
Yeah.
he used to do a job at right wing for Man City. So I don't know. I'd like to invert him and perhaps see him on that left wing again, and then Mudryk on the other side, and then João Felix in that
I don't
middle.
think I've seen Modric on the right. How is he? How is
I
he on the
haven't
right?
seen him. I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen.
This is
Okay.
me just
Okay.
experimenting out there.
Okay.
But you see me, I'm very much a fan of inverting my wingers anyway. I like my left
Yeah.
footers to be on the right and vice versa. But
Yeah.
that would be what I'm going for now. This is the main question. This is the important question. With both squads that we've put out, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe we should be coming away with 3 points?
Hey.
Because I do. I really do.
Bro, I'll be honest with you. There's no excuses on the weekend. 3 points, even if it's a scrappy 1-0, even if it's a VAR controversy, even if it's however you want to put it, it has to be 3 points on the board.
3
You know what I
points is
mean?
3 points, trust
It's
me.
a derby. It's a derby. Just get the 3 points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally.
No, I feel you, Darko. I don't care how it comes. I don't care how shameless it's gonna sound, bruv. I just want
Yeah.
my 3 points. It just is what it is at this point. We need to. Oh shit! Oh, my bad. We need to. We need to start getting points on the board and fast, because we're staying in this 10th place, 9th place for a little too long than what I'm liking. So, but me personally, I definitely feel like we should be coming away with 3 points with that team. If we don't, obviously, I'm not going to be very happy with Graham Potter, but I'm still going to remain that my stance is this is I'm
What is your stance?
my
I would
stance
love
with
to know.
my
What's your
stance.
stance?
Okay, my stance with the manager is compartmental. So at the beginning of the season, I said I'm gonna judge it. The first stage of judgment is gonna be January to see what incomings are coming in and where he's gonna address for the long term. Because I don't believe we're gonna get the results needed to get top four. And I said that at the beginning of the season.
It's a
And I
hard
still
one.
maintain that now. So for me, it was a case of, well, if I don't feel we're gonna get top four or we're gonna really compete for trophies, I want to see what's being done long term. Long term so far, cool. You didn't address the key problem, but it's January. January is a notoriously difficult month to get deals done. So I'm cool with that. But what he did do was get Jorginho out of the door. And I believe that was key to a long-term build, getting him out the door. So that's bonus points for me. Summer, the thing still remains. You got to address the key issues, yeah, and then we'll talk from there. Now, next season, knowing the investment that we're going to have in this club in the summer as well, and the players that we should be coming in, by December, if we are 6 or 7 points away from the title, I'll be calling for your neck. So,
Whoa.
yeah, have you seen
What?
how
6, 7 points?
6 or 7 points away by December for the title?
Isn't that a good thing though?
You must go now. No, for me, no, I want you to get closer. I need you to get closer than that.
Wow.
I do, because
But December, it's not even. Is it halfway around then? Nearly halfway.
Darko, it doesn't matter, because I gave him a whole season of patience and nearly and potentially $1 billion spent this season with that summer. Yeah. And now, if you've addressed, if you've got me my number 6 or possibly even 2, there's no excuses there. We've got the backup right back in Malo Gusto, who I know his levels. There's no excuses for that either.
I'm a big fan of him.
Yeah, same here. So this is what I'm saying, my bro. There's certain things that are not going to be accepted, and especially if you win nothing this season, yeah, and you're treating this season as a pre-season and you're including players that are going to be in long term, nah, I'm going to need you to be very close to this title, because I'm looking at...
What would you say if he won the Champions League?
What, this season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to blind him still. But I want to see... No. Actually, no. I'm not going to fall for that trap again, because we fell for it once and it killed us. Bro, and it divided our fan base.
You're saying this now, Guni. You're saying this now, but I can't lie. You might have a different view.
I'll celebrate. No. Darko, I promise you, I'll celebrate. Yeah, I'll celebrate it like no other. But my problem is that we're going almost a decade without any domestic success. And for me, that's bread and butter, bro. We need to be winning the Prem. I would rather win the Prem all day long than
the Champions League right now.
Right, exactly.
You know what? It's a hard one because we ain't won the Prem for so long. But you see that Champions League, it just makes us even more prestige.
Yeah,
it does. The second one, I'll be honest with you, the first one was lovely, but the second one gave us a different type of clout, bro. Do you know what I mean? That it's like we invited to sit on a high table with the big boys. You know what I mean? We've done it twice, not just once. It wasn't a fluke. We've done it twice. And if you do it 3 times, hey, this is when you know that this team is they're a problem. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. And I mean, who is it? But this is the thing, Darko. Who's gonna say no to a Champions League? Who in their right mind will say no to it? I'm taking that all day long. But
100%. But these Arsenal guys, you know, they can't give me any more headache. Oh, London Red, this, all this stuff.
But you see them 37 games that you have to play, yeah, because obviously you can't play yourself. Them games that you've got to play, bruv, that's what I need, because that for me is harder. To be winning and staying on top after that many games is a lot more difficult, in my honest opinion, than the Champions League. But the prestige of the Champions League, come on, we can't take nothing away from that. But bro, it's not necessarily European I'm looking at, it's domestically. We need them titles, bro. Yeah, them pricks up in North London with their Premier League titles, we need to close the gap. We need to be officially the biggest club in London.
Wankers. 100%, man. 100%. We need to show them, bro. Even them winning the Premier League, yeah, potentially is burning me, bro.
It is, but it's a case for me where it's a case like, brother, it looks like it's going to be a 1 in 20 thing because when you look at what they need to do off the pitch as well and how they behave in the transfer window, they're nowhere near
Yeah,
as efficient as what we are. They're not as efficient
yeah,
as what Manchester City are. Man United are just as bad, in my opinion. And there are other clubs around them that operate better. Now, this is the thing that they got to look out for. Is if United get them Dubai owners, that's another problem
hey,
for them. Yeah, if Liverpool get good
that's
owners,
a big
that's another
problem.
problem for them. They can get left behind.
Yeah,
We're not going to get left behind.
facts.
You see what I'm saying? We left our reputation last summer and this January to let them know, people, it don't matter how much money you've got, we're here. We're going to compete with you. We're going to frustrate you. Even if we don't get the player, we'll make it more expensive for you. That's what we do.
100%.
You get me? But Darko, speaking about transfers, bro. Speaking
That's my
about
bossy.
transfers, we've just obviously come off the January transfer window. A lot have said it's one of the best transfer windows that they've ever seen for Chelsea. For me, it's up there. For me, it's definitely up there in terms of a January transfer window. But like I said, we ain't signed key areas. We need to address the number 6 position. And there's a
Yeah,
particular player that I have been crying for Chelsea to be looking at. And I have
yeah,
him on the screen. This is off Darko's Hot Days account. So make sure people, you follow what you're seeing here on the screen. And it
yeah,
says here, and this is very exciting to me, exclusive, I can confirm Romeo Lavia held positive talks with Graham Potter last week with a view to a permanent move to Chelsea this summer. The
yeah.
Belgian midfielder is believed to be blown away by the project presented to him. Now, bro, just that tweet alone has got me so excited. Do you care to elaborate a little further on this, or are you restricted in what you can let us know?
Yeah, bro. Listen, I can, go into a bit of detail. First of all, hot days, bro. It's gonna be a very, very hot summer. Things are happening, bro. Things are happening. So, bro, what I can confirm though, he had a great chat with Potter. He seemed very excited by the project. You know, what's been presented to him. He said that the club are looking to buy the best young talent in the world. Todd Bowley wants to make Chelsea like Real Madrid, basically. He wants us to be the London Real Madrid, and he wants us to dominate everything,
That's what I want to hear.
consistently winning at the highest level, competing for all honors. No slacking. He wants us to come for everything. That's the plan, to dominate, and he wants to give pathways to young players with great potential, even in Cobham. Despite the fact that he's going out there buying young talent that are not at Cobham, he still wants to believe in the talent at Cobham and integrate them into the first team. Obviously, with Lavia right now, as you're aware, Man City do have a buyback clause,
Yeah,
which is for 40 mil, and they do have a sell-on clause as well, if case that he does go to another team.
yeah.
But as of now, Chelsea would be his first option.
Oof.
He's very excited. He did also speak to Eden Hazard um,
Okay, that
about
makes sense.
about this. This is when he got man of the match against Chelsea at the St Mary Stadium. So I don't know if you remember, but then a few days later the story came out about the bid that went in for him. So
Yeah,
Hazard was
yeah.
just,
That's when
yeah,
he scored that screamer out the box. He
he scored a
slapped that
screamer on the
stupid.
box.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Hazard told him, you'll be looked after. Come to the bridge, you'll be looked after. He was meant to go to the World Cup as well, but you remember he had a hamstring injury, so Martinez
Yeah.
didn't want to risk anything with him. So yeah, he's top player for me. I think he's a generational midfielder. Honestly, I
Facts.
honestly believe that this guy is gonna be a superstar. He's gonna be one of the best in the world. I
Facts.
strongly believe this, and if he does come, we're gonna be very lucky to have this fantastic midfielder on our hands. I'm just a bit fearful at the moment because there are other teams that do have interest. Bayern Munich are showing interest. Newcastle, um, Tottenham have expressed a bit of interest as well. And my only worry is that with Calvin Phillips right now,
Yeah.
he just moved to City in the summer, but he's behind closed doors. There's lots of things going on with him and Pep Guardiola right now, so he could potentially be moved out. yeah, he could be potentially moved out in the summer. So it's one to look out for, because City could actually come back and be like, you know what, we're gonna give you game time. Gundogan's potentially gonna go. Silva's Bernardo Silva's looking to go. So there might be some space for him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But hopefully we're gonna be onto it straight away and we get that over the line.
Well, I mean, that's a player to me. Every time I've seen him, bro, he plays beyond his years, man. Mature, understands his position brilliantly, and on top of
Yeah.
that, the most important thing is that he's got the technical ability to match to match it as well, to go along with it. And for me, I'd be very excited to sign him. You know, and this is the thing. I want people to understand something, because there's been a lot of people saying, well, if you sign Lavia, you can't sign Declan Rice. That's not necessarily true. I've seen Declan Rice do two roles at a decent level. One DM, the other one slightly further as the box to box. So if you
Yeah.
really wanted to, you could play the two of them in the midfield three, or
A
even
hundred
in
percent.
a
And
pivot. No one's gonna get past it.
that is cooking.
That's what I'm saying.
Cooking.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So it's not a case of either or. You can accommodate the both of them. Now imagine Enzo
Yeah.
in that three. And look how young that is. The oldest one in that would be 24. Mason Mount. I mean, not Mason, sorry. Declan Rice.
Yeah.
Lavia, what, 18, 19, Enzo,
19 now.
21, 22.
21, 22, yeah.
Now,
Incredible.
do his injuries worry you? Do you know the latest news with his latest one?
Okay. So, injury wise, there was some, reports that I don't know. I guess Man City when he did come off,
Yeah.
a lot of people feared that he was injured. I see some people at me saying, Darko, Lavia's injured again. I was like, he's okay. This was part of the plan. The manager wanted to play him for a set amount of minutes, so he doesn't pick up another injury. Um, what I would say in regards to injuries, I'm not concerned. I don't think it's one of them ones where he's injury prone because it was a hamstring injury,
Right.
and the previous coach did kind of rush him back. They're going through a difficult time.
Yeah.
He came back a bit too soon, then he got injured again, and as well because he's still growing into his body, he will pick up maybe a few injuries here and there.
That's
But
true.
if you look at his injury record, apart from the hamstring, there's not been any niggling or anything to have a red flag or get us scared. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as they're managing it correctly, and you need to remember at his young age, playing the Premier League, um, 90 minutes or nearly 90 minutes a week, the ferocious pace of the Premier League is, at that young age, you're gonna risk injury. Do you know what I mean? You're still
Definitely.
growing, and I
Definitely.
think it's important Southampton do try to manage him a bit better because I understand the situation. They're fearful of relegation. He's one of the best players, so hopefully he can stay fit for the rest of the season, and hopefully Southampton can be very nice to us and do us a nice deal.
Now, you mentioned Manchester City. They've got the buyback option
Yeah.
on there, but you see, the thing
Yeah.
is right now, and it might work in our favor, is that they're a bit in limbo right now because you never know.
Oh.
They've got a situation with obviously the sanctions that are coming to them. Now, the first thing I want to say to the peoples is I don't really want to go into that too much until we start to see official talk, because if there's one thing that we went through as Chelsea fans was other fans having to tell us on a consistent basis that our club is finished, that it's this, that,
They
and the
told me
other.
my sugar daddy. They told me my sugar daddy's gone.
Yeah,
They told me I'm gonna be in the Conference League.
all of
They
this
told me I'm gonna
stuff.
be eating pies and mash with Shrewsbury fans and Coventry fans. Our brother Hamza. I know he's suffering right now. I know Hamza's suffering right now. But imagine how we felt. This is now you lot can feel it.
Now
They,
you
they
lot
haven't seen
know.
nothing yet. They haven't seen nothing yet.
Now, facts. Now you lot know how it feels, but it's just a case of uh, yeah, we just got to wait and see. Because remember, this is Manchester City. This is not a team that is exactly short of funds. You know what I mean? And the reason why it's probably been kept quiet this long is because of that reason. Now, allegedly, I don't want no Manchester City representatives coming in and trying to sue me for defamation now. So it is obviously alleged. Yeah, you get me. But that one might be a bit of a game changer in terms of between us and Spurs and those other clubs. Now, the only reason where I can see him saying yes to them and no to us is purely from a Champions League standpoint. But if he's got his long-term head screwed on, that shouldn't really matter, because if he's looking around the situation, he's like, okay, they're not going to get Champions League, but these man, they signed Enzo Fernandez, they signed Mudryk, they're going to sign João Felix on a permanent, most probably. These men are still going somewhere. This doesn't really matter. So this is why I'm not really watching these teams too tough like that. Even with the Champions League, I know that we've still got P's that we can spend. Do you know what I mean? We can still try and we can still compete for the best players. But obviously, that can't be something that is long term. But in terms of not competing, but in terms of other defensive midfield targets, or your box to box, more defensive profile kind of targets, do you see any other names outside of Romeo Lavia and Declan Rice that Chelsea are seriously looking to pursue, or are those two the main names?
In terms of the sixth role.
Yeah.
Okay. In regards to the sixth role, from my knowledge, I do know Rice and Lavia are the main, seen as the main culprits for that position. Another player, I know you're a big fan of him as well, Claudio Kone.
Yes,
As we know,
love
he
him.
can.
Love him.
Fantastic player. He's amazing. Mike is also a big fan of him as well. But he can play as a lone six. From what I've seen, he can also play as an eight. But with him, it's a difficult one to identify his real best position, because I've seen him play double pivot. I've seen him play as an advanced eight. I've seen him play as a box to box. So he can do it all. But he is amazing. I know that the club are definitely pushing to try and get him ahead of a potential summer move as well. So that's one to look out for. Personally, I love them three so much. I think all three of them fantastic players. There's another one. I don't know if you've seen him, Guni. Agate from Sporting
From
Lisbon.
Sporting Lisbon, he looks very, very talented. Very talented.
Very, 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 very good. Very, very good. So that's one people need to keep an eye on. I don't know if Chelsea have any interest, but I do believe that if worse comes to worse and we're struggling to get our targets, that could be one to really, I don't think he'll be expensive either, and he looks really good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And you're telling me, well, if we don't get the other targets, we'll go for Ugarte. Bro, I'm not even complaining if we signed him. I think I don't have a sample size of him like I do the other players. But I can honestly say, I've seen him play several times, yes, in the Champions League. But there are some intangibles that you've got there.
He's a player.
Yeah. You can see certain things in certain players sometimes, and this is a quality player. The guy's game intelligence is brilliant. It's really good. Do you know another player that I really do like? And not many people have mentioned him. And I thought this could be a scenario in case we weren't going for Declan Rice. So obviously we know Romeo Lavia is still very young. And I'm not necessarily...
Give me a clue. I want to try and guess who.
All right. So Lavia is very young. He's still got time to develop in that role. So I would like for him to have somebody perhaps a bit more senior with a bit of experience. Now, obviously, Declan Rice does have that experience. But if it can't be him, I'd like someone who's more physically imposing. Yeah. Who isn't too far away from the club. And I believe is massively, massively undervalued currently where he's at. How he even went to that club to begin with, I think the top clubs should be kicking themselves. Especially us, because he would have done a job for us. Can you guess who I'm talking about?
Okay, how long has he been at this particular club for?
This season.
He's only moved there this season?
Yep.
And he's young. I know who you're talking about.
Mid-20s.
I know who you're talking about. And guess what? Before I mention his name, right? Hopefully I'm right.
Yeah.
I've got a tweet out there, I put out there when this guy got signed by this particular club. And they abused me. They said to me, Darko, he's not good enough. They said to me, if he's so good, why is he going to Fulham? That's what they said to me. If he's so good, why is he going to Fulham? And the name of that player is João Paulinho.
I would have this guy.
João Paulinho.
I'd have this guy at Chelsea right now. Right now.
This guy is being one of the best signings in the Premier League this season. The
100.
VAR is there. Guni, the VAR is there. I said it. This guy, 20 mil, bargain. When people are trying to say there's no midfielders Chelsea can go for, I said no. It's bullshit. This is excuses.
Yep.
There's midfielders out there. We're just choosing not to do it. 20 mil. He has been incredible, bro.
For 20 mil. And how much? Listen, even if we were to like try and make an offer there, I don't even think he'd still be. I mean, you probably have to pay like a 50, 60 now. But just
I think a 40, 45 could be
swear
okay,
down.
because it's been one season. I don't know, maybe 50 at most, but because you're making that's a nice profit with one season. You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, he's fantastic, bro.
Yeah,
I really, really like him.
that's a player for me, 100%. I'd be happy
Yeah.
with him at Chelsea. And people,
This I know you know your football, my brother.
bro,
This is how I know.
I've been seeing this guy, bro. I saw this guy from the beginning of the season, and he's just bossing and controlling that midfield tempo like it's nothing. Even against us, he didn't sweat, bro. Did you notice this guy didn't even?
Both games against us.
It's too easy
Even
for
against
him.
Man City, he moved to them. Even against United, he moved to them. He's fantastic, bro.
Yeah, proper.
Honestly.
But I haven't heard us linked with him. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
overly concerned because of the other names that have been mentioned. Although
Yeah.
Kawadio's not quite for me. Kawadio, he can do the DM role, but I think he just
But I think
vacates
it's
that
better
space
that we
a bit
get
more.
someone. Yeah, we get someone that's that's special that specializes in that role.
Yeah,
I
because
don't want to shoehorn anyone in that role. Yeah.
Because you see with Kawadio as well, is that although we can do that role, I'd rather him have the freedom to roam. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because he's a very strong dribbler. He's a good ball carrier. He's got a decent pass on him. The boy's talented, and I really hope because I heard it was Christopher Vival that loves the player.
Yeah. That guy knows ball, man.
Yeah, proper.
Suggestion, he knows ball. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it'll be great.
so it's looking good, man. Definitely from a transfer perspective. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here, people. I've got a live that I'm setting up at the same time. I've just finished right now. Boom. So I've posted all of that stuff there. But yeah. There's several players that I like, and the good thing is like we're actually being linked with them. Because a lot of these players that I've been mentioning before Graham Potter and this recruitment team came in are ones that I actually wanted at the club. You know?
Yeah.
From I saw Enzo Fernandez after the first few games, I said, this guy, we need him. Bring him immediately. I want him at the club. That's one. Kwadio Kone, when I saw this guy, and that's because of you and Mike, I found out about him, and I told you people already. When I saw this guy, I said, nah, enough's enough. You got to bring this guy. Who else? Malo Gusto. I've been talking about this guy for the longest.
I love him.
Now we've gone for this guy now.
I'll be honest with you. Listen, I don't want to do player FC thing. I always think we should all support our players, back our players, not put them against each other.
Yeah.
But uncomfortable conversations. I did say, I honestly believe this guy can really push Reece James.
Yeah, he
I
can.
honestly believe that he can even start games where it's the big game is so big that if Reece is not available or we can just drop Reece to rest or whatever, there won't be a drop off in quality. That's how much I rate this guy, bro.
Yeah,
Honestly.
facts. Yeah, he's a proper little prospect.
He's a monster.
Yeah, he's a proper prospect. Now, obviously, João Felix, technical. Mudryk, I don't know too much about the player, but from what I hear about him, very technical.
I don't know too much either, but
yeah,
listen, he's supposed to be the real deal from what I've been told. So let's hope he's gonna be great for us.
I think so. I think he'll do well, and I think we're going to see the best of a lot of these players once that balance comes into that team. Honestly, yeah. Once we have a rotatable midfield where where the levels don't drop too much, where we've got consistent mobility, we've got consistent technical ability, we've got physicality. I think we're gonna start to see the best of these players naturally. Because the problem that we're having is that we're not creating enough quality chances, or whatever chances that we get. I thought we're just not taking them where they're not supposed to take them. But that's the situation with Chelsea right now. But Darko, do you know what? We're reaching up to 50 minutes at the minute, so I'm gonna bring this one to an end. It was a good episode. It was a good chat to have with you. I'm actually gonna be I'm gonna be going live in the next 15 minutes. So by the time,
a quick one, bro. Just a quick one.
Yeah.
A little exclusive for Man Knows Ball. Little exclusive. goalkeeper situation, which we didn't touch on, but from what I was told, we're looking at Costa
Love
from
that.
Porto.
Love that.
I think he's a fantastic young keeper. Pickford, I'm not really a big fan.
Not sure of that.
So- and Raya from Brentford.
I like him better than
Um,
Pickford, but not better than
yeah,
Costa.
and Sanchez a bit further down the list, but them four is what the recruitment team are looking at. They've not made any decisions, but this is what I was reliably told. So
Well,
just for us share that with the people.
you're gonna be back here. You think this is gonna be the last time you're jumping on it? Darko's gotta be back here, man. So you're gonna have to explain yourself a bit more on that one, man. If you're able to, anyway, man. But
No, of course, bro.
yeah, so obviously Darko has an account that talks transfers, and I know he's got some admin on that as well that take care of that. So please, people, don't shoot him. Don't be just going up to Darko and Rose, but you said this. Yeah, be careful, because it's not all just him, because some people just like to place the blame. So the Twitter account, obviously, you can see here on the screen, Agent D_hot days, right here on the screen. It is not left since we have started the stream. So please make sure you give my guy a follow. Also, I'll leave a clickable link in the description as well, so we take you straight there. And Darko, can you let the people know where they can find you, bro, outside of, obviously, Man Knows Football?
Yeah. As you can see, my Twitter handle is there for the people to follow. Hit me up anytime. My DMs are open. Willing to talk football. I do open up spaces on a regular as well. Guni's always there supporting. I'm a football man. You know what I mean? I do the Dr. Darko therapy sessions for all
Yeah,
fan bases. When they
yeah.
need some, therapy, the doctor's here. Your local doctor's here. So make sure you subscribe to Man Knows Ball. I'll be back on again. And yeah, man, I'm here. I'm here. Hit me up anytime, people.
And people, yeah, to everyone that's watching, make sure if you haven't watched the live that myself and Lewis did last night, you go back and check that out. Very good conversation there as well. We were talking about the Graham Potter situation, the situation also with Hansi Flick being around Stamford Bridge, and then obviously the Manchester City
Oh,
situation. So go and
yeah.
check that out. It was definitely a good conversation between myself and Lewis. But until next time, people, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, leave your thoughts down there in the comments. If you want to donate to the channel a little bit more, there is a join button so you can be a member, or you can hit the super thanks and donate as much as you'd like to. But doesn't have to be monetized. It doesn't always have to be money. All the likes, all of that interaction, it really helps the channel, and all of that is appreciated. But people, thanks for watching. Up the Chelsea at all times. Gareth Southgate out. Bless.